Hello. Hello. My name is Anthony, and this is my project for Concordia University in reference to creating, looking at ethical projects in reference to the character education. Okay. So I'm going to start with character education. So, what is character education? Okay. Character education is the study of several psychological events that make our behavior as moral agents more effective. That we do what's right because it's we're being taught to do, basically. Now, as a point of clarification right now, we look at three standpoints. There is moral, there is performance, and there is civic. Now, what I'm going to be teaching today to my students in my history class is the reflection of the civil rights movement in the 1960s and to the birth of the hip hop movement in the late 70s and the early 80s, going forward. And how is that effect on a ethical and civic scale? Okay. So let's look at some vocabulary terms right now that we know about. Performance has to do with, doing the work and at that point, training students to be successful in a educational and student base and professional base through learning through advisory boards and different programs. Okay. Um, Several words that have to do with performance, hard work. Uh, I wouldn't say ethics, but hard work and diligence, perseverance. Um, those things right now about being able to learn ideas and concepts and how to apply them is great. Now, on a civic stand space, what is civic education? Civic education, as we define in the book, is going to be how we use abstract thinking to understand that the core concepts that we learn from our parents about what's best for us, there's more than that. That doing or learning for the fact that we are, more than us out there, what can we do to better help our community on a local, national, and global level? And that's civic because we're doing things to better the community. Now they have several terminologies such as Kaizen, uh, which is the persistence to do what's best, and Gambette, which I know I have pronounced wrong, but at that point, doing what's best for the community. And I think after reading these three different definitions, that I understand that best for the fact is that if doing what's best for the community means doing best for yourself. So let's look at our lesson plan. So we have different terminologies: the civil rights movement. We have Martin Luther King. We have Malcolm X. We have Brown versus the Board of Education. We have Little Rock. And then going towards the creation of hip hop, we have the crack epidemic. Um, we have gentrification. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and discuss how that music changed the model and make, and how it's still changing the model and make of current day education. Okay, so let's look at the standpoint within the 1950s and how we viewed education as a music and moral aspect. Now, this was Brown versus the Board of Ed. This was a lot of the civil rights movements and actions that were taking place. So, the one thing that was unique is that students felt that they had to take a part and a place in these actions. So, um, what happened was is that it wasn't left for to be a decision of the children, because the question they ask themselves is that, how can I change the world? What can I do to make the world a better place? And they began to go on these different boycotts, these different um, civil, we say civil actions, that go ahead and exact change. And they did. Now, what I cannot say is that whether the movement of Malcolm X, which had to do with, wasn't nonviolent, but had to do with the right to defend yourselves, did that have as much change on that generation? No. But but the way Malcolm did affect change is that he began to understand that, okay, everyone is not the same, but how can I affect change? And the only way to affect change, ladies and gentlemen, is be able to control your environment, control your financial community, and be able to control the money that comes in and out. And he did that. And while I won't mention about, several conspiracies about why he was killed, but that's what made Malcolm unique. Malcolm went to Mecca and not only became a better Muslim, became a better person, you know, and he wanted to create a organization that would begin to fund people who were impoverished in the black community. That could not happen. The government did not want it to happen, and that's why he was systematically shut down and why he was murdered. But from his words and from the Black Panthers and all the other organizations past that became the birth of the hip hop community. And hip hop was the way that urban youth began to describe the environment that they lived in, the environment that they were exposed to, and what it meant. And early hip hop, blossomed into the hip hop that we know nowadays, but, yet and still the lyricist or the gentleman that rhymes and tells a story, his influence on hip hop is so crucial, because what he say matters. What he spits makes a difference, and that's what makes hip hop unique. That the reaction to what we say and what we talk about is can be delayed, but it can be absorbed, and we've done that. And there is no other level of media and clothing and the way how we treat our family that is more prevalent than hip hop. Um, I feel that designing a program that teaches it to help them understand word correlations and how to bring that word to another is great. And I'm hoping at that time, we do something we agree on. But what I want you to know is that we're out here and I'm learning, and that I would love to participate in this little exercise if you want to. And If you do, I'll hit you up tomorrow. We can go ahead and plan it and get everything done for it. If you don't, let me know. I got you covered. Later, sexy.